Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, we are live, good to go. Little bit early, like 5-6 minutes earlier than usual. That is because of the speech which is going on, which you should be aware of now. It's literally about 30 seconds. We're going to see what Gov Bailey has to say. The Bank of England speech is going down right now. So we're going to see what's going on there. Going to try and find a YouTube video or some form of video to watch live. Because last time there was, I've been struggling though, but yeah, so for the next 5 minutes, we're just going to be seeing what Gov Bailey has to say, if there is anything important to say, which I'm sure there will be. But good afternoon, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's had a lovely Monday and a lovely Tuesday so far, ready to make some dollars, but it does not seem like there's any live streams
as well, but we are just really days away from the U.S. election. The elections are on the top of mind for many investors at this juncture.
2 weeks from today.
Doesn't seem to be anything, which is annoying.
Froden was convicted of 19
Let's see if there's no live streams. It mustn't be too important then if there's no streams anywhere. You know, I can see it being. If it was important, there would be streams everywhere. But we are gonna just chill for the next 5 minutes. You know, see what's going on, and then we will obviously kick off the live stream as we normally do. Ready for 1:30. Let me just make sure the camera's okay. But yeah, guys, there's now a sub count goal up here, up to the top up here. You can see a sub goal. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is crazy. This time last year, I was on 7. I remember specifically 7 subscribers last year. Well, not even last year, like February. In February, we had 7 subscribers, which is mental. So we're almost at 3K. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now. And also like the stream. Ready for 1:30. Really does help me out. All the YouTube business, you know, I've got to ask. But yeah, we did catch sells this morning on GJ. A few other people in the premium course or in the course did as well. Good morning, easy money. Yeah, we caught sells, and now we are also in the big sell, which I wanted to take a re-entry for. We got exactly what I wanted to see happen. We've closed outside the accumulation range. I'll go over this now, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to go over it. We might as well just go over the analysis. Fuck it. We'll glance at this every so often, see if there's anything big being said. But the speech is now live. It starts at 25 p.m. or 2:25 p.m. and it is 2:27. So it is, you know, underway. We'll see how that goes. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you're subscribing. We're almost at 3K subs. Gonna be crazy. But yeah, so what's going on GJ? We have melted to the downside. Now, a few people will have caught sells around about here with me. There's a few people in the course, few people in the Discord alone that caught this themselves. You know, nice 1.6R. I took profit here just before this slight retracement before the move down. Perfect. Now, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we can go over exactly what I wanted to see. Or we'll start off on the daily, actually. So, on the daily time frame, we basically wanted to close outside of this range so then we can have the manipulation, then kind of continue up and then come to the downside. Now, it looks like we're ready to go, to be honest with you. I'm in this trade. It's a very low position, very small position, a very small and long, potentially, position. Small and long. Small size position, hoping to hold it for a long time. There we go, got there. But yeah, so what's happened is we've came up, took out daily liquidity, which is exactly what we were targeting for the past few weeks. You can see we did that the other day. I took a sell from there. We come to the downside, oops, and then from there we then kind of retraced and came back up. And then we got the exact entry which I've been talking about. I've been saying this every single day for weeks. When we take this buy side on the daily, I want to see a 4-hour or daily candlestick pattern and then we can get a nice move to the downside. We don't need to come into a fair value gap because we're already in one. We've got higher time frame stuff like the weekly, the monthly fair value gap. We got weekly AMD, daily AMD, 4-hour AMD, everything. We got a bunch of stuff aligning, looking to come to the downside. Now we're about to get a New York Open. Doesn't seem to be anything yet on this. And he is speaking in New York. I would expect this to be streamed. Let's see if it's like a 5 to half past, like 25 past start, with an eventual half past speech. No. Here we are. Maybe. Let's talk about the opening bell. Alright, we don't care. Sky is just streaming about these prisoners getting released early. Yes, the gang. Hi Dan, you alright? Stumbled out my mouth then. Looking for this Andrew Bailey, Gov Bailey speech. Doesn't seem to be one anywhere. So we're just gonna have to track it on Financial Juice. Should be okay. You know, I imagine that if it was important, it would have been streamed, wouldn't it, guys? You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see how that goes. But make sure you're liking up the stream, guys. We're almost at 3K subs. It's going to be nice when we hit that. Less than a year ago, we were at 7 subscribers. 7. And now we are on our way to 3K. GJ sells. Right, let's start off with this analysis. We're just going to work our way through, as we normally do, and then we'll see if there's any positions potentially. Make sure you're liking up the stream, guys, all that lovely stuff. If you're new here, I'm live every single day at 2:30 p.m. BST without a fail, unless I say otherwise. And if you want to see when I say otherwise and catch that announcement, join the free Discord, which is the first link in the description. Now, on the daily time frame, I said this since like over here, since like the start of September almost, or the end of September at least. I've said that I wanted to see price accumulate. Then once we finished accumulating, manipulate to the upside, come up, form a candlestick pattern, respect this monthly fair value gap, and then catch a move to the downside. It is literally as simple as that. What did we get? Well, we got an accumulation, taking out daily liquidity. Then we've got a nice 4-hour candlestick pattern right here, which I'm hoping will be that move down that we start. We've got an inverted fair value gap right here, potentially forming a BPR as well, depending on how this 4-hour candle forms. If we push down still and we don't kind of stay around here and these two wicks do not overlap, then we will have a nice BPR, which kind of gives us security for our trade. I am in a trade. I am in around about here just before the close of this 4-hour. I got in here, and obviously I'm targeting the bottom of the weekly range. I'm not going to have that there because it's pointless having it there. It's going to be a while that this trade plays out. But my stop loss is literally just above here. So once we start pushing up above here, I think it's like 1975 something. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we've got the exact analysis or the exact trade that we wanted to see, that we've been talking about for days now, for weeks even. We've got that set up. We took the entry over here. Very nice entry, but wanted to see this candlestick pattern, which we have got now. And that's the higher time frame stuff out the way. Now we can move into the 15. As I said in my market outlook yesterday, if you haven't seen my market outlook, make sure you watch that. It's in the free Discord. It's on YouTube daily, every single day. After this stream, go and watch last night's. And this is exactly what I was saying, that I wanted to see. But yeah, so lower time frame stuff, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all these fair value gaps for now. And we're going to slowly draw them all in. So we've got a nice AMD cycle right here, which a few of you guys did spot. We've got a nice accumulation with a manipulation to the upside with a candlestick pattern, which was obviously bearish. We formed a nice Evening star candlestick pattern. As always, that's like 9 times out of 10, that's what we see in these AMD moves into fair value gaps. Perfect textbook stuff. I ended up taking profit around about here, which was just before this candle flipped to make the top wick, and then we kind of consolidated, heading down. And now we have also took 1 hour liquidity. Now, something fun that I've never really used before is these two charts. So there's the 15, here's the 1 hour. Looking on the 1 hour, you can see that we have come down and took this liquidity, which is also liquidity on the 15. We took this over here. You can see that on both charts, we've took the liquidity, but we've also came into a fair value gap around about here, which we might end up respecting. Now, obviously, I don't want to respect that. I hope we don't respect it. But you can see how these two time frames are aligning. We've got the internal AMD here, which I don't think, it could end up just being accumulation distribution. We'll have to see how the candlesticks react, how price reacts to this fair value gap. But as you can see on the left hand side, we've took this liquidity, which is also 1 hour liquidity, coming into this 1 hour fair value gap, which looks like we're trying to invert. Now, if we zoom in on the 15-minute candle on this, you can see that we do have a long wick inside this fair value gap, as you can see. So we have came back up on the 15, tried to respect it, and failed on a lower time frame. That'll be a break and retest of a support and resistance. And it looks like Andrew Bailey may have released something huge. Let's check financial juice very quickly. Sorry about all this messing around. AR, here's the speech. You can watch the speech now. Oh, for fuck's sake. Of course it's delayed. Well, that's fucking annoying. We'll see how that comes up. If this is released after the stream, I'll post it in the Discord for anyone who cares. Or you can just go to this link, search it up. I'm sure you'll find it. Or go to Financial Juice and click this one if it's easier for you. But that looks like he said something quite important, and we are melting to the downside, which is perfect for us. You don't see that candlestick pattern. Let me just go off of this. On the 15-minute, we have a candlestick pattern. On the 4 hour, I think I was talking about, we got a nice candlestick pattern here. Yes, nice work. This is the candlestick pattern. We got a move up, doji, move down. I think you joined the course the other day, Rosario. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you did, there is obviously a full guide on candlestick patterns, and I talk about this one specifically as well. So go and check that out if you haven't already. Now, where were we? So, 1 hour has come down and took this liquidity over here. Sorry, wrong one. Took this liquidity. 15-minute has also took liquidity, as you can see. So we would expect a retracement back up to this at some point, some form of bullish retracement, just a slight retracement, which is good. If this candle closes like this on the 1 hour, then we will have a nice fair value gap here for us to come back up and respect. So we have a lot of opportunity here, I guess you could call it, to get in for a re-entry for anyone who has missed this entire move. Now, this is more of a swing trade. I don't really do these much. I've done 2, I think, since I've started streaming. Done 2 of them. One of them very close to take profit and then break even. This one is obviously the second one, and it's a perfect setup. The setup I've been talking about for days on end. I have been saying this for weeks and weeks before we even started accumulating on the daily time frame. I said we're going to accumulate, manipulate up, form a candlestick pattern, and then melt to the downside, and look at what is happening. Now, this is obviously a relatively small move in comparison to the 4 hour time frame and the daily time frame. It is just back into that range, but still, come on. We're going to see how this trade plays out. So that's what's going on. We've got an internal AMD cycle here. It does not look like it's done. This could be the X phase. Looks like we're coming out to take this liquidity over here, which could also be 4 hour as well as 1 hour. No, it's not. The nearest 4-hour liquidity pool is around about here. So if we just draw that in, we'd obviously expect a 4-hour retracement from that time frame, from this level. Now we're going to go back to the normal charts now before I give anyone else a headache. And this is what we're looking at. So we've got a nice accumulation, manipulation, and distribution 4-hour time frame candlestick pattern where I took my entry. So we're up a little bit on that now. We're going to get rid of these fair value gaps. We don't need them. What we're going to do is we're going to use the 1-hour time frame, and basically we've got a BPR here which we respected very nicely, as you can see. We've got a few fair value gaps on the way down to this 4-hour liquidity. We've got one right here. We'll see how price reacts to that. We've just formed equal low there, I think. So we should come into this fair value gap at some point, I think. Obviously, I'm in the swing trade now. And as I said, this live stream has been an absolute mess, I can't lie. But as I said on the market outlook yesterday, we can go back to the 15 and start looking for positions. So what's going on the 15? Completely ignoring all the higher time frame stuff, we are obviously expecting a bullish retracement, which would be the X phase of this cycle here, which is internal. So if I just draw a box around this, we can get rid of the daily accumulation now. We don't need that. We can get rid of this fair value gap. We know we're inside this high time frame fair value gap. And for once in the past, like for the first time in months, the screen is now white. Now we've got a manipulation to the downside here. Not really coming into any fair value gaps, I don't think. Not really. There's one small one right here, which looks like we're struggling to break past. If we come down to this one, form a candlestick pattern, you can look for potential buys, but it does look like this is the distribution move of AMD. So we would expect price to start accumulating next. Does that make sense? So we're looking for an accumulation next. Once we get the accumulation, we can then see where we are on the charts, depending on where we start accumulating. But as always, if you've missed this move, do not try and get in it, like trying to catch the continuation. Just wait for a consolidation, then wait for the next move, and do not miss the next move. It's literally as simple as that. You don't need to catch this move. It's already happened, 90% of it. You can see a couple people, or one person has take profits at this level here. Literally just commented. You know, it's a lot of people's TP spots, especially this liquidity here and this liquidity here were probably a few of them. Now, all we got to do is wait for that accumulation. Once we start accumulating on the lower time frames, we can see where we are. Depending on where we start accumulating, obviously a lot of fair value gaps on higher time frames on this move down. So we could look for a nice manipulation to the upside into one of these fair value gaps, form a candlestick pattern, and you know the rest of the story. Then we can target this external liquidity over here. And the fact that we've took this liquidity now means that we could potentially trade the next AMD cycle because we have a confluence for a manipulation to the upside. Then we will have a confluence to end that manipulation, which would be obviously the fair value gap, etc. So that's what we want to see next. We want to wait for the next accumulation. Once we start accumulating, we can go from there. But, you know, a few members caught this move down. I caught the move down to here. It's lovely, lovely stuff. Moving on, that's literally the GJ analysis. Just going to summarize that actually very quickly. So we've got the high time frame stuff. We took 4 hour. We took daily liquidity. We got a 4 hour candlestick pattern with the daily AMD, with the weekly AMD. So we got a very nice sell opportunity occurring now. And also, yeah, that's the high time frame stuff. The lower time frame stuff is just wait for another internal accumulation. Once we get that, we can wait for an internal manipulation and then obviously catch an internal distribution down to this liquidity over here, which was in equal lows as well, hasn't been took yet. So we can expect price to come and take that nicely. So if we do end up taking a trade, that will go on like that. Now, obviously, I'm in that swing trade. As I said, I am in that swing trade from the top, hopefully targeting the bottom of the accumulation range, but that's just going to be going on in the background. I will share the actual screenshot of the trade in the Discord server so people can refer back to it and see what's going on there if they want to. But yeah, and I'll obviously update it when that trade plays out. So that's GJ. Gold. What did I say on gold? I've been saying this for a while. I wanted to see a accumulation occur. Now that we took these highs, I wanted to wait for that accumulation, which we've got. Now we have got an accumulation. So we can draw a box around that. It's more internal, it's more 13, 15, 30, and 1 hour accumulation there. But it's still an accumulation. So we can wait for a manipulation, potentially to the upside. I would have preferred one to the downside, to be honest with you, because we don't necessarily have any fair value gaps to come into. Well, we don't have any fair value gaps to come into on the upside. We've just got that liquidity breaking the previous high. So it's a bit risky if we get something like that. I'm not going to take that. But if we get manipulation to the downside, but we've got 15 minutes left on this candle. If we get manipulation to the downside, we could look at buys, which would obviously look something like this, because we do have a very nice fair value gap for price to come into over here. Very straightforward stuff, guys. Liquidity here, no fair value gap, so we're not looking to trade that. Fair value gap here. Be very nice to trade into or off of, but it does not look like we're going to get that move. We'll see how that plays out, but I said this for days. I wanted to wait for the next accumulation before we start looking for a trade. We've got the next accumulation. We started looking for the trade. Afternoon, Mark. How you doing? Now, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also accumulating on the 1 hour time frame, as you can see. Quite a sloppy accumulation, but it is an accumulation. Now, we also have liquidity over here, which we have took already, I think. Maybe we might retest that and come into this fair value gap over here, which has been respected once, but it could also be respected twice. And that would be a very nice setup, to be fair. We have the external AMD cycle here from yesterday, I think I was talking about, which is this accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. We've come to the target, which I think I was talking about live. And obviously now we've started accumulating. If we come down to here, we've took this liquidity again. We form a nice candlestick pattern. Then we take a buy position at least to the other side, if not up to over here. We'll see how that plays out. USD JPY, pretty much the same thing. I wanted to see a higher time frame accumulation, which we got. Now we've manipulated up into this high time frame fair value gap, and we formed a nice candlestick pattern. I would wait really for a move deeper into this fair value gap, and then a move down. But you could also take your trade from here. It does kind of fit the plan. I'm not going to take this though, but if you trade USD JPY, sells might be the answer on the higher time frame stuff. We'll see how that goes. GBP Swiss franc, what's going on here? That's the X phase of AMD. Looks like it's done. Now we just got to wait for the accumulation to occur. Once that starts, we can then look at the next move. USD CAD, what's going on here? Waiting for that accumulation. AUD USD. I got took break even on this. I think it might have been just after the stream. Either way, yeah, I secured like 0.25%, so it was like 125. Just over like 140, I think, to be honest. So we caught that, got took break even, and that takes us through all of our pairs. Now, obviously, I only look to trade GJ, gold, and Bitcoin. They're the things I trade most. So I'm going to be looking at these setups. We've got two setups occurring on the higher time frames. We've got a gold one, which looks like it's pushing up. We've got Bitcoin, looks like it's pushing down. And we've got GBP JPY, which also looks like it is pushing down. And that is pretty much it. Just got to wait for the next cycle of AMD. Let's see what's going on. So we have took this liquidity now as well. And that's what I'm looking for next. It doesn't really get simpler than that. Make sure you're liking up the stream, guys. Hate to ask, but it does really help all the YouTube business. Subscribe if you're new. We're almost at 3K subscribers, as you can tell by the sub goal at the top. We started on 7. Now we're almost at 3,000. Very, very nice going. Yeah, make sure you join the free Discord if you haven't already, and join Fast Track Trading if you want an in-depth guide on how to trade exactly like me. Lifetime access, $300. Quite a steal, to be honest, considering you get almost a one-on-one mentorship for the same price. Not included in the price, but yeah, like, you know, not really much to discuss today, guys. We've took the trade, just got to wait for this accumulation to occur. Once it starts occurring, or once it's going on, we can then look, depending on where we accumulate, we can then look at manipulation move, hopefully to the upside, you know, overall continuing the swing trade whilst also being able to trade all these tiny cycles of AMD. But I've got nothing else to share. That's the analysis done. If you've enjoyed the analysis, please like the video, please like the stream, share it with your buddies, share it with your mates. I don't care, but you know, make sure you like up the stream and stuff. Subscribe if you're new. If you're new, I do stream this every single day at 2:30 p.m. BST. And yeah, we just gotta wait for this trade to take place. Now, if you want to catch this trade with me and the Discord and the course members, make sure you're in the free Discord server, which is the first link in the description, where there's also a free course. Subscribe and hit the bell, because I also do daily market outlooks for free on my YouTube and my Discord. So keep an eye out for those. Keep an eye out for all that stuff. I've got nothing else to share. Have a lovely rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time for the same stream, 2:30 p.m. BST. That's me done, guys. Take care.